answer, as I mentioned, was articulated by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala 10 years after the question was asked. Why 10 years? God knows best. But in those 10 years, the answer was actually articulated through the training of models of Islamic behavior, the likes of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, Umar ibn al-Khattab, Uthman ibn Affan, Ali ibn Abi Talib, Mus'ab ibn Umayr, Abdul Rahman ibn Auf, models of Islamic behavior who understood the answer without hearing yet from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When they lived the answer as if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted us to know, you may not need to hear it in words. You will hear it in action. Then the answer came in Surah Al-Dhariyat, which was actually revealed 10 years after that question, shortly before migration to Medina. In Surah Al-Dhariyat, answer, part A.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Now remember what the question is. Remember what the question is. Did you think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created you to live your life without a purpose? Now what's the purpose? Part A. وَمَا خَلَقَتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. صدق الله العظيم. I did not create the jinn nor humans except for the purpose of establishing ibadah. So ibadah, worship, is part A of the answer of the purpose of our lives. What is part B of the answer? Immediately after migration to Medina, when the first surah that started to be revealed in Medina, and maybe some know which is the first surah, and some don't. It is actually, if I tell you now, you will know what surah I mean. It is the longest surah in the Quran. That was the first surah that started to be revealed in Medina immediately after migration of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So what's part B now of the answer? أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. وإذ قال ربك للملائكة إني جاعل في الأرض خليفة. So part A is ibadah, part B is khilafah. Now, ibadah is something that we perform individually, albeit in a group fashion. We are recommended to pray in Jama'ah. We are recommended to fast, not recommended, we are required to fast during the month of Ramadan. All of us. We are required to go for Hajj. Al-Hajj ashhurun ma'lumat. You cannot choose which month to go and perform Hajj in. It has to be during specified days. This is ibadah. We perform it as individuals. But khilafah by definition cannot be done except within a communal context. And what is khilafah? When translators of the meaning of the Quran try to render khilafah in the English language, and by the way, there are 29 such translations into the English language. When they tried, they brought words like vicegerent, viceroy, representative. Now, is it this or is it that? What is khilafah? What is meant by khilafah? When we read the more than 30 mentioning of derivations of khilafah, istikhlaf, yastakhlifukum, in the Quran, more than 30 such contract to apply the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on this earth. This is khilafah. As believers, we've got to do that which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to be done on the face of this earth. And we have to do it together as a community. Now, if we want to know where we are in performing the A and the B, let us consider a grid. A grid. And on the x-axis, we will put ibadah. On the y-axis, we will put khilafah. So if you want to know where you are as an individual within the community, then see how far you are pushing in your ibadah and how involved you are in establishing khilafah, and then you can find where you are on this grid. Some people push a lot in ibadah, but they are very weak in khilafah. Such people may actually move so far on the x-axis, but their y is 0. Their y is equal to 0. They may feel that they are doing a lot, but actually they stay on the x-axis. And many people are very weak in their ibadah. They do not do their salat in jama'ah. They skip certain salawat. They do not fast properly. They do not give zakat. They don't go for hajj, or they may think that there's still time. These people are moving very slow on the axis of ibadah. And they may think that we are so involved in the community, we are doing this, we are doing that. Yes, they are moving on the Y, but their x-axis may be equal to 0. To be doing the right thing as a Muslim, you've got to move and push on both axes. And then you will find that you are moving up on a curve that will take you, inshallah, to Jannah. And the curves can be at different slopes. Each one of us is performing to belong to a certain curve with a different slope. And we know in the Quran, Jannah is not one place. وَلِمَنْ خَافَ مَقَامَ رَبِّهِ جَنَّتَانِ in Surah Al-Rahman. And then after those two Jannah are described, after they are described, we read وَمِن دُونِهِمَا جَنَّتَانِ. So there are Jannatan and Jannatan. And we know if we search in the Quran, the upper two Jannah are Jannat al-Firdaus and Jannat al-Adn. And then the lower two Jannah are Jannat al-Khuld and Jannat al-Ma'wa. Al-Ma'wa actually in English means shelter. Shelter. So there is a shelter in Jannah for those who just are content to barely make it inside, instead of pushing all the way to Al-Firdaus al-A'la. And that, you know, according to the slope of your curve between ibadah and khilafah. And these two are so interrelated. They are so interconnected, and there are proofs that the act of ibadah, which is individual, is interconnected to the khilafah, which is communal. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُوا مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. It changes that which is individual. Get close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as an individual, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will change the state of affairs of the entire group, of the entire community. Look at the relationship between the ibadah of the individual and the khilafah of the entire community. Inna Allah will not change the state
of the community until the sake of each individual is taken seriously.
And another proof in the Quran. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Let's now go and land in the beautiful surah of An-Nur. وعد الله. Look, وعد الله. Allah promised. And وعد الله لا يخلف الله وعده. Look at this. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes a promise, Allah does not, never. It's a wa'd, it's a promise. So there is a promise in Surah Al-Nur. وعد الله الذين آمنوا منكم وعملوا الصالحات ليستخلفنهم في الأرض. Listen, I'm using a verb that is derived from khilafah. Now, so let us pay attention. Let us see, is there a relationship with ibadah? So Allah promises those who have genuine faith among you and translate that faith into amal salih. What is that promise? Number one, it's a tripart. لَيَسْتَخْلِفَنَّهُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ كَمَا اسْتَخْلَفَ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ وَلَيُمَكِّنَنَّ لَهُمْ دِينَهُمُ الَّذِي ارْتَضَىٰ لَهُمْ وَلَيُبَدِّلَنَّهُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِ خَوْفِهِمْ أَمْنًا. Allah promised those who have genuine faith and do good deeds that He is going to make their social contract open for them to sign. And I don't say it literally, but it is a contract with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لَيَسْتَخْلِفَنَّهُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ. Allah will give them the privilege of being those who will sign a contract with Him to do that which pleases Him, to look after the environment, to look after the needy, to go through the earth with peace and spread that peace and show love and reach out to the people and give them guidance. These are the elements of the social contract of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is istikhlaf. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that if you are among the faithful, I will open it up for you to sign that contract. And number two, I will make your deen firmly secure for you. And number three, I will replace your fear with security. Oops. What's going on? If we look around us, we find out that we are unable to see many people signing this contract with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Where is istikhlaf? Where is the tamkeen of our deen? Where is the security that we are feeling in the world? What happened when those 140 children in Pakistan were killed? Where's the security? What's happening in many places of the world? You know what? It's because I did not finish the ayah yet. The ayah talks about the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We already said that Allah never breaks His promise. So what happened? Because the ayah continues after those three things that are the promise. يَعْبُدُونَنِي لَا يُشْرِكُونَ بِي شَيْئًا. That this promise will be open on condition that each individual will establish worship without associating partners with me. So look now at the connection between ibadah and khilafah. The x-axis and the y-axis. يَعْبُدُونَنِي لَا يُشْرِكُونَ بِي شَيْئًا. This is the connection between ibadah and khilafah. And khilafah has a price. It is not an easy thing for us to establish the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on earth. We've got to understand that there are trials, there are tribulations. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that at the beginning of Surah Al-Ankabut, tells us that in Surah Al-Baqarah, tells us that in Surah Al-Imran. أَحَسِبَ أحسب الناس أن يتركوا أن يقولوا آمنا وهم لا يفتنون. Did you think that you are going to live your life smoothly without being tested? Brothers and sisters, we are being tested big time. Big time. Yet, let us not forget that as a doctor, if I go and look at the ECG, electrocardiogram, of a healthy patient, I expect to find ups and downs. If I find that the reading is a stale line that goes horizontally, I will know that the patient is already dead. A healthy patient has an ECG with different peaks and dips and ups and downs, and it goes like this. Also, you know, there are many metals, if left for air to oxidize their surface, they will rust. But if you will continuously rub their surface and polish it and generate heat in the process of polishing, that metal will always shine. And what is happening to us as a Muslim global community is nothing but to polish us and expose the glitter that is found in the Quran and the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yes, we are going through very hard times, but soon we will start to shine. Already there are signs of spots of shining parts of our body as an ummah. Look how our youth are already demonstrating their excellence to lead us into the future once all the trials and tribulations will settle a little bit. You know, John Tory, the new mayor of Toronto, is praising Muslims for their contribution to feed the hungry during the holiday season. And when the mayor of the largest Canadian city says that about members of the Muslim community, we know that we are doing something that we can be proud of. Don't feel that things are finished, no hope. No, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us in Al-Quran al-Kareem that those who lose hope are to be in the category of the non-believers. We've got to understand that we have to push through difficulties, and difficulties now seem to be insurmountable. But we have the energy of the Quran, we have the ability of the Sunnah, and the example of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, our mentor and teacher. We have this opportunity to revive our spirit so that we can, inshallah, go forward and reach where we need to take our children so that they will continue the journey after we are long gone. Don't feel down. Don't say, but look, if you go to YouTube or you go to anywhere on the internet, it's doom and gloom. You know, I was reading the annals of the Second World War, and there was an incident wherein Hitler got upset with 3 of his army officers, and he wanted to punish them. So he ordered that they be placed in solitary confinement, each one by himself. And he put classic music in their cells and let water drip over them slowly. And he told them that there is toxic gas that is being released into their cells, and within 6 hours they are going to die. Finished. He wanted to punish them. What happened? They went after 4 hours to check on those 3 officers. And by the way, there was no toxic gas. It was just being told so that they will suffer the psychological fear. They went after 4 hours, and guess what happened? They found that 2 of the officers had already died. And the third one was breathing his last. Because their fear made, and this is a medical fact, when you are in panic, your body secretes a hormone that shuts off your organs. So this hormone started to shut off, and 2 of them were finished in 4 hours. And the third was on his way to die. So my brothers and sisters, yes, there are many who are using this premise of toxic media to make Muslims believe that things are finished, or if not finished, soon you will be in great danger. I hear it from our youth all the time. Is the journey over for Islam and Muslims? And many parents already lost communication with their children. And yesterday on my way from London, Ontario to Toronto, I received an email from a friend of mine seeking advice on a family that lost their 24 years old son in Michigan. He already denounced Islam. And before that, I know in the last 6 months, another 21 years old and another 19 years old. But these are the ones who gave in. But let us not do that. We have a lot to revive during this weekend to carry with us, inshallah. But we've got to be strong. We've got to be cheerful despite all the pain around us, because I'm, by the way, very delighted that one of the sessions at this convention is how Prophet Muhammad ﷺ maintained a cheerful outlook at life in the midst of difficulties. This is the way of Muhammad ﷺ, and this should be our way. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم فيا فوز المستغفرين. Make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He will accept our dua. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen.